Welcome back, everybody, here to the CSGO Championship Series. I'm Tubby1, joined by Saticus, as we're coming back here for map number 2 for HellRaisers going up against Gamers2. Map number 1, it was pretty much HellRaisers' game to win.
Yeah, Gamers2 didn't really show up. Like I said, they're kind of streaky on that map. They've had some good success, but against Fnatic, they didn't play that well. It seems like whenever they get up against a team that's a top level, I'm gonna say it. HellRaisers has not been playing like a top-level team. But at their best, they've shown over the history of as a team, although different iterations, that they can beat the top-level teams. So when they play their best, we'll loosely call them that. For
me at least, like I look at how they approach map number 1. The coordination seemed to be right. The positions were right. The calls were correct.
Exactly. So when Gamers2 get faced with a team that's clicking like that and playing that well, they don't seem to be able to have an answer for it. They're really going to have to rely on, I mean, if they even force map 3, which is Mirage, they're going to, I mean, they've got to rely on this pick being brilliant and that HellRaisers has no experience on it because the way they're playing right now, they need that help. The issue is, if we go to Mirage, it's another map they struggle with quite severely. In fact, against Fnatic quite recently, I shouldn't say quite recently, but back in January, end of January, they only picked up 1 round on it against them. I mean, when you got the potency that HellRaisers does and the ability to pick up ops in different positions with both Kutcher, and we've seen it, I mean, when we were watching demos and we were studying them, and on Mirage especially, they're more than willing to throw that op around a bit. We've seen a Dren pick it up. We've seen a Doja occasionally, not quite as much. It's usually a Dren that's the go-to as the second guy.
For me, I just look at this map, and if HellRaisers play like they did during Dust 2, then I don't really see much of a problem for HellRaisers coming up in this map.
Well, this is the wild card for that. And again, HellRaisers don't have as much experience on it.
Yeah, but even if it's not experience, it's just the way they're going to be moving around
it's the one-on-ones and the skills. The thing with this map you have to keep in mind is with that new A, there used to be the meta that you would run sort of 1 player in the window at B who could quickly get back to A, 2 players in B, and then if you had to rotate, you can drop to B. Similar to Nuke, you can get to B much quicker than A. Gravity, simple. You drop down and you're there, whereas the rotations backwards to A are a little harder. With the new entrance into A and that extended bomb plant, you actually have to leave another player a bit closer to the A site. Usually I'm seeing more A takes since the changes, but B becomes a lot more possible as well. Again, the problem is that the rotations are just so quick there. The other thing to watch for is defensively, map positioning at A is very easy to get. B, you're not going to see too much aggression. You might see 1 player push through sandbags up into sort of the construction area. Occasionally, you may get them to push out towards the sewage pipe, but that's pretty rare. It's very linear, and the Ts get there very quickly. What you're going to see more commonly is actually the A defensemen that are there either get inside the bathrooms, cut them off when they try and come up mid.
So actually play more forward defense on A.
Right, or get out long A and force sort of funnel them. If they can do it by process of elimination, if they get the picks early enough at A and they get that positioning far enough out at A, that means your B players have more time to rotate if needed, or it gives you the information that, hey, they're not here. They're either in the underpass or down in the tunnels, or they're out toward the long pipe, and that means that basically you can adapt accordingly. So I would expect to see a lot of long, aggressive defense at A. But knife round underway.
Yep.
CT-sided map, sort of slowly going back the other way as the meta and as people get more experience with it and the meta changes, but it's definitely going to be a CT choice for whoever wins this.
We'll see who comes out on top as we'll let the boys slice each other up. Remember these knives? You could actually win one of these things too. We're giving away if you're a subscriber. Almost $200 worth of an in-game item.
Yeah, I can't remember. I think it's a flip knife, and I don't remember which. The rainbow. I can't remember the technical name.
You have a flip knife fade.
There you go. The fade.
The fade.
So
which is valued just shy of 200 USD on the market,
and it's factory new as well. So.
Yep.
But don't forget, that's not the only reason to subscribe. I think the cooler reason for this is the knife round.
You want to support?
Get concluded. Yeah, you're going to support the prize pool. You're going to go ahead and support your teams. If we hit 125,000 total prize pool, we get to see one-on-ones at DreamHack. I think that's going to be super cool. A lot of people have been saying that they've been wanting to see that for a while. Well, now's your chance. So,
I'll look forward to it. It gives us something a little bit more unique as well to do over at DreamHack Bucharest, which will be a fantastic LAN final. And we've got to see which team actually gets there. Remember, we're playing single elimination as far as these qualifiers go for the first part of the qualifier. So we have the teams come through the open qualifier and they go up against our first level of invited teams. even if you do win this map, like even if HellRaisers do win this, they're then going to go up against Flipside, and that's going to be one hell of a battle. After the way Flipside was playing yesterday, the unpredictableness.
Oh yeah,
it's going to be one hell of a matchup.
And they're an extremely T-sided team, so
yeah,
it's always great to see T-sided teams play because they definitely make it a lot more exciting, regardless of which half they start.
Well, off we go. G2 will start on CT for the first half. HellRaiser will have the ball in their court as far as aggression goes. And it looks like they're going to focus over towards B. I see Smoke Flash as well as Nane. They're going to try and take out in the lower tunnels. And Flamey's already the first one to get the kill, so minimize. Well, there will be a return onto Flamey. So it's a 1-for-1 trade-off as they come out through Squeaky. But HellRaisers, they actually look at the CTs getting caught inside of Squeaky. And they move up to make sure they can shut him down, and they're going to as well. There goes Mouse. And now HellRaisers really do just control the mid part of the map.
It was so interesting because it was aggressive pistol play. I said we'd see it out toward long. They went straight toward that mid-stairs. The problem with mid-stairs, it looked great. It looked like they had them caught in construction. The problem with mid-stairs is you can still get wrapped around from behind, and with Adren still sitting back toward the ladder and Kutcher over at the birthday party, that's exactly what happened. It ended up in reverse where they just got surrounded. So the information was there. Fortunately, it wasn't what they wanted to find. Now they find themselves 2 men down, and it looks like we're slowly getting Angels scouting out the B site.
Yeah, he sees everyone's gone. And he doesn't even see up in Sniper Nest. That's where the one CT is who's meant to be looking over and protecting B site is.
Spiro's on the back stairs today, so it's a quick enough rotation, but Dozia's already beginning coming through with this bomb, and Dozia's got the shot on Innocent as well, so this is pretty much all done. HellRaisers look to get the pistol. Spiro comes around looking for at least a Constellation, and Constellation, that's a configuration of stars. Constellation was the word I was looking for.
Well, I'm going to say it was shot in his Orion's belt.
Oh.
But that was just a perfect shot from Dossier. The second he got that one, as you said, it was practically over. The only thing that was even hoped for from Gamers2 was they just get one pick. But with this round going the way of HellRaisers, they get some guns. We get Tech 9s, Dossier going with the Uzi, and a couple of AKs to boot as well. But very quick move up with the scout, trying to catch him out as they come towards the playground area. But unable to get the first pick up, so instantly falling back on that long A. And it's a very heavy defense from Gamers2. Again, very aggressive with their pistols. They're getting all the way up on top of basically lower tunnels without actually entering them through Squeaky.
So they want to stick with this aggression. You can't really do aggressive long when you're pistols versus rifles. We'll see if that scout can work, though, with Mao's out in that direction.
Well, that's all that's really... I almost feel like that scout, the only reason for it is to make sure they can't rush up through long A. And then the rest of the pistols stay close, so at least you're able to maybe get a slight advantage up against the pushing HellRaisers. As they look towards the tunnels, and finally Spiro will get a bit of a spot on them. But they're all coming up. 4 players, all from HellRaisers. They do push him out of Toxic, and they get the pick off with the Tech 9s. More nade spam comes up, try and look towards the pit. As there is one just sitting on the edge, one down inside the pit. As one also comes up through jungle, but at this point, HellRaisers, they're just systematically picking off the CT defenders. Last one left over inside the jungle, and it's not going to be long to live, and there it is. Adren just moves up, finishes him off, gets a 3-for.
Yeah, not even a big investment for them. They don't lose
so
anyone, and yeah, exactly. Adren's already on, well, he was 51, he just bought down to 39.
You can do that with Tees as well. Like, if all you really want is the advantage of the pistols, you just pick up a Tech 9, you come in with armor.
Yeah, I mean, Tech 9's so strong, and that's exactly it. Now they can save out. It's a lot quicker and a lot less risk to leave one player on a pistol and go for an AWP, and that's what they're doing.
I love the fact, too, they pushed up Adren at the very front line, saying, okay, well, he's got a Tech 9. I don't care if he dies. We still hold our 2 AKs at the back.
Look at this B presence, though. 3 players already in construction, so they'll get information from this, and actually that's a pretty close quarter, so the pistols could be effective here, but they're falling off it. No one's there.
Well, they're worried about who's coming down through tunnels. Hilariously enough, it's the only player that's down there. Dossier is the one that's looking there. And walking around with the Uzi, he's not going to find the perfect line as Adren. They are going to finally move up to the outhouse, down to the toilets.
Innocent's crossed over on that pipe as well, so he hasn't found anyone there.
Look how close Mouse is.
Second effort to find the information. They can't get it. Yeah, Mouse is up close. This is where you're going to see a lot more of the CT players play, is out toward that bathroom position. But meanwhile, Angel's finally going to pop a flash over onto B, and they look to come out squeaky.
They're trying to get the players to rotate back. They're trying to get them back over towards the B site with these flashes. But then again, G2 are not taking the bait. In saying that, the bomb is over on B, so that is where HellRaisers want to plan. It's almost like they're doing a dummy fake.
It's absolutely ridiculous how this round's played out. They look for information. They got nothing at construction. They put one peek at long. They didn't find anything there. They go, hey, well, back. Little do they know it was a passive play, and they're still at B, so they're going to walk in uncontested. The question is, how much does G2 want to invest into this? Because post-plant 5-5, no guns. Look at Doja, though. He's already through, and there's the shot. Innocent responding. At least they get one. But again, bombs down, and they're pushing out. They're trying to secure this. Smoke's out, though. That allows Spiro to get into the water. He's coming around. If he can find this one kill on a very low HP player, there it is. Flamey down. They might be able to try and get this defused because Innocent's holding them out. This is an unbelievably great retake. What an unusual round, and look at how many players are amazingly still alive for G2. They've got to get this defused. They will. They've got no kit, but he's got lots of time. There it is. And that's going to shut down HellRaisers' streak before they hit 3, and it also shuts down that availability of trying to get that full buyout as soon as they want, but they still have an AWP. Kutcher's gone for it very quickly, and because they didn't invest much, they'll actually still be able to get one more round of full support.
It really looked like G2 lost control of that B side. With the smoke over on Sniper Nest, they were completely covered up when they came out of jungle as well, with Dosia right in front of them as well. How the hell we went to breach through that? They managed to fight against the odds. They get all the way through, and a very quick pickup here by Kusha with that AWP.
And just to go back to that last round too, the fact that Doja pushed through like that and got completely pinched by, he knew there was a crossfire there. He knew they were coming from A. They were rotating back. He shouldn't have pushed through that aggressively.
He's trying to jump over the top trying to attack him.
Exactly. And as soon as he walked in there and went down, they picked up his gun. Sure, only an SMG. You might not think it's a big loss, but look at what damage it did to them. Spiro this round. Doja already down again. As again, he continues to lurk out at long positions. Not going to work for him this time. He's one of those players that likes to try and force one-on-ones and play it very slow, rely on his flick accuracy, but getting caught out that time.
Angels try and spray and pray, but unable to get the target. There's G2. They still keep a lot of their defenders just in between this A and B side. As they don't know where the pressure's coming, but it is definitely going to come up by HellRaisers up through the toilets. They're flashing. They're getting a little bit of attention here from G2. Looking for the first pickoff. Mouse able to see one of the T's coming up through long, and then able to shut down Flamey. And that's with bomb vision too. So they know the bomb is over on the A side, and already Innocent starting his rotation. But they're firing it up. You still do have that AWP over on Kusha, and he kind of needs to get a pickup before they get in here.
And here's the awkward spot of that second bank truck I talked about. One smoke already covered off. They may not be able to pick that long position, that linear spot, but what can Angel do? He's going to come around and basically play that same front angle. Spiro's got one, and they just mow them apart. I still think it's far too cluttered.
It's so tight.
That's all you got to do is move that second bank truck, and suddenly Angel comes in and has a chance to get that shot. That smoke either has to go deeper and force him to come through it.
It almost feels like A is an impossible bomb site to breach.
I'm still not sure it's 100% correct yet. I still think it's a bit too cluttered. Valve's done some improvements, and I'll give them credit for that.
I like having the long A, but having the trucks there just makes it almost impossible for the
second truck
T's to get
back
any
toward
kind of
the
vision.
stairs. I kind of agree with. That's too linear. That's too direct towards that long position. I mean, effectively, that's where you would have put a box in CX 1.6. Sure, it looks like a truck.
Yeah.
Oh, nice boost going on outside that mid-bathroom door, by the way.
Yeah, but Flamey went the other way, so they're not going to.
But the second truck, just to finish the point, definitely too much, in my opinion.
And these CTs keeping really tight defense. These Squeaky open up, and Innocent, he'll win the battle. Just sitting on top of the wall. And now Mouse also shutting down that long run. It's such a narrow point as well. There's no way for Flamey to breach it through if someone's going to be up that far. And now there's only 3 Ts left, and they're all over as Squeaky. And in fact, they're all getting tagged up right now as Rylan, just from up in construction. He's going to take 2. Can't get the third, though. It will belong to Dosia, but he's got nowhere else to go. Apart from death.
Fateful death, no less. But now Gamers2 do have the lead. They've got to build on it. They need to get their CT side rolling.
We're going to have a quick pause here, as it seems like another sec is required. This time it's only by HellRaisers, not G2.
Yeah, no pings to speak of, so
mouse
issue, keyboard issue, anything along those lines possible.
Yeah, but with G2, that defense over on the CT side, I'm actually trying to think exactly how can you breach into this bomb site. Like, if you have an overview of the bomb site, you got to defend it back in truck, as we're also finding out as well, like the fact you've got that bottom of the truck covered, you can hide someone behind that, so you can't even like get that snipe out and the guy sitting in the back unless you throw out the mollies. And what are you going to do, like flame up the entire site?
Typically what happens is to breach that A site is they find that quick pick on the aggro player that's out toward long or in the bathrooms, and then they try and rush in and at least secure the angles. if they can't get into the back of the site. But the problem is, you've still got to contend with E-Box on the rotation, the back stairs, the back of the bomb truck. It's very cluttered. It's very tight still. And if they play a passive A, they give up information about where they're going to go on B, but they actually could hold the site a little better. So it's 50-50. Rollin, though, he's going to do a good job this time on the hold, as it was attention over toward the B site.
That's the third time that's worked, man. It's the third time that HellRaisers has just been shredded apart by him up there.
And Dozier's got one back in response. Spiro drops, but look at the health left for him. Only 4. And this should be quick work for G2 because Mouse is coming around from the backside of Squeaky. There's the shot into Angel. AWP's still up for Kutcher. He's going to try and hang on to this. He's going to have to. They're going to regroup back toward the T-spawn. Dozier still has that bomb to work with, but they're going to have to be brilliant. 57 seconds. It's doable if they can find the right picks, but look how passive G2's gone since they found them. They're securing the bomb site, so it won't be easy.
I don't think they even want to really attempt this at the moment. I don't think there's really anything to be gained from it. They're not going to find these early pickoffs. If they can't control Squeaky, they don't really get much. And now, the pick in mid, there goes Kucha. You lose your AWP as well. There's no way for Dossier on 4 live points to try and breach him with the bomb site unless all of G2 run to the wrong bomb site. It's the only way that's going to work. So he just tries to save the AWP. And then just back the hell out. HellRaisers, for these first 6 rounds, it just feels like they can't control all the areas of the map. It's too much to cover. And they're going to come through long A, or you try and come up through short. G2 always pushing their AWP or someone else all the way up to the party area. And then you can't move up quickly, so you can't breach into A quickly and catch them out while they're just rotating up from B, because it's still a very long run to have all the way up through the left flank.
Very long run, and the rotation points, it's a little bit like Nuke, actually. Again, I mentioned that at the start. The bomb sites are, sure, they're slightly staggered, but they're also quite stacked. Those back stairs might be a maze, but they go up and down pretty directionally.
The difference is, though, in Nuke, both the Ts and the CTs can exploit the ladders and get towards the bomb sites, but in this, it's kind of like, it's only the CTs who have the advantage.
It's protected very, very easily, so it's a cluttered map. Mao's going to find the first one. Immediate response, though, from the Tech-9. Rollins going to add.
They're just running it.
Shot from Doja. There's exactly what the Tech-9 can do, and now they've got a chance to rush the A site. Now they're going to try and get in there. Innocent's your first rotator, and he's not arrived yet, so they could secure this. The bomb's still a bit of the ways back, though. It's
about to get smoked out, too. Well, that's a little bit high, but the AWP is going to see him. Perfect from Dossier. And one last CT to try and clutch this. Spiro, well, he's able to get the first nade, but Dossier waits for him to just jump up, and there was no way to get back down from that one. The downside about that being a box, not a staircase. And they just get the pick, and HellRaisers able to pick up their 3rd round. They get the AWP. So they have something to work with here. And it just seems the only way to actually get into that A side is to get them all picked off with these forward positions from G2.
Yeah, exactly. That really is the only time I've seen it be successful. Is that's exactly what happens. Is you secure the kill, you get that first pick on a player who's carelessly peeking or trying to secure information, and then you try and rush and secure positions before the rotations can come around. Look at this time, though. It's going to be long. Yeah, exactly. There's the player. He only loses 25 HP, but he'll fall back. That at least gives them a little bit more presence, a little bit more they can push forward, but it already calls Rollin out of B site, so now there's 3 at A again. Yeah,
but the same point, because they've lost the ability to control connector, and you've dragged an extra defender over towards the A site, it'll be very easy for HellRaisers just to switch the other way. Like, just switch it out through toilet, go back down through Squeaky, and get it through construction. But they're just going to commit into A site instead. Keep the flame up, force them back off the trucks, the nades, the flashes, everything they've got. He's only sitting on 6 live points, so he has to be very, very defensive. As he moves back deeper, looking for just the pick through the smoke. Oh, he's going to throw out another flash. But this is just a delayed push now coming in from HellRaisers. That nade, perfect position. Can't get the kill, though.
They're giving up so much position at A, even though they're all there. I'm so surprised by that. Why wouldn't you at least get one out to the first truck to pop around? At least Mouse is still there. But again, now that he drops, as Dosi gets the kill on him, it's all been torn apart. They've got the site under control, and that's just far too passive defense right there.
It's like after that the Tech-9 rush that came through toilets, they just have no more confidence to move up into the toilet area. Maybe they're worried about getting picked off by that AWP very early on. You lose one, and all of a sudden, oh, I can't defend A anymore.
But by the way, where you're from Berlin full time, this map is actually based in Germany.
It is. I can actually read some of what's here.
But that's neither here nor there. This round is going to go to HellRaisers. It's going to be 4-4. And again, that was just far too passive. They got that rotation over early. I'm never going to accuse the player playing truck to leave the bomb site quite like that. But a second player, you've got him on E-box to cover off the main entrance. Get your primary player, the player on the back stairs, at least to cover off that long a little bit better. They just didn't do it, and they actually took control of those angles that time. That time it worked beautifully for them. So
it could have been very different too, because HellRaisers, when they tried to breach through long, they threw the flash over, and it was the perfect timing. Didn't get a full flash on the AWPer that was watching on the long A, but it wasn't just enough that he couldn't get the initial shot. He waited, went for the second shot when the T came out from behind the rock, missed that shot, so never found the advantage, had to fall back. At that point, I think G2 just wiped the front defense out and said, you know what, we're not doing this anymore. Pull back, we'll try and defend from the side. But the AWP angles isn't as good anymore when you're trying to defend from inside that A. So they can't just get the easy picks with that. And they always seem to be coming up too late to get the crossfires up. And here we go again from HellRaisers. Heavy commitment. 4 players coming up through long A. They're all going to get flashed up. And the fire comes up, which also is going to just choke them up a little bit. And there's a lot of support here from G2 to defend this. And already 2 players are backing up through toilet. That's what I was talking about. Like you add so much pressure over towards the A site. All you need to do is just get that one player down in mid, which is where Maniz is. He's sitting over construction at the moment. But if you bring him down, you can easily just move back over towards that B side again. Even though so far HellRaisers haven't had that much success with it.
Yeah, and G2 seems to be a little bit more timid as of late with that long pick where Maniz hasn't been able to find it. So again, they're going to start to push up and collectively group on A, and if those smokes continue to be effective, they'll hold them out. Mouse is in a better position to come around the corner. Innocent's up on the bomb box, so at least they can get a little bit more aggressive before they secure the positions, but he's already spotted, and Angel's done good damage now to Innocent. He's going to have to be so careful. Again, it's Rollin. Oh, they line up. He gets, wow, actually a team kill in response. If he hadn't got it, it was going the other way regardless, so 2K down. But there's Dozia still alive as Flamey found one as well. So back down to a 2-on-2. Rollins still wreaking havoc, and the bomb's down. This is going to force the round. Flamey can't do anything about it.
Yeah, out of time, nothing more to be done. And they also knew too with Dozia, he was on such low life. All they had to do was throw out the nade. It forced him to come out from the truck. They get the easy pick. And G2, 5-4, currently on the map, on the second map, sorry. But they are playing here on CT, so they'll probably want to have a little bit more of an advantage than just one round, but there's still a lot more to go.
Yeah, I mean, 12-3 was the scoreline that was very common on this map. 11-4, 10-5, I actually think is where it should be. 9-6 would be great. At this point, HellRaisers is very quickly closing in on that.
Look how far HellRaisers are back this time. Like the last couple of rounds, they've moved up very, very quickly onto that long A. This time, they're taking a little bit more time to just get him. There's Maniz finally going down. So they open up construction a little bit. And already Ryland's just bouncing to see if he can get some vision, see if anyone's going to come out of squeaky. But HellRaisers, they've got the bomb all the way back in the playground, so they don't even know where they want to take this. The players are literally halfway across the map from the bomb. They just want to find these picks and get the opening, and then someone can pick up the bomb.
Dozia's trying to come through.
Same spot. Not going to work 4 times in a row. Actually, that's a little bit further to the right.
And Dozia was trying to come through to support that, but look at A this time. Nice. There's the aggression that I want from them back in the site. Sure, it's just slightly more passive than an aggro A.
Dozia. He needed to finish him.
Oh, this nade, that's not going to bounce far enough.
Yeah,
it is. Spiro goes down.
He's got to check jungle, though. Look towards the side, but it's going to be Rowland to stop that beat boy. But the bomb is still on the other side of the map, so Kute's going to run all the way back, pick up the bomb, and then try and find a place to plant it. And he doesn't have enough... Actually, I don't think he's got enough time to run to a bomb site and plant it, so all he can do is save. With 15 seconds, if he made a beeline for B...
He can't get there from there.
He's going to play right in front of him.
It takes...
Just on the other side. Just on the other side. Out of time.
It takes 7 seconds from where he was to get to the B site, plus 4 per plant, so he could have if he got on his horse right away, but otherwise not possible.
Why would you keep the bomb that far back? Like, you could have dropped it off at just, like, near the connector.
I think they're looking ultimately to try and rely on those early picks and then have more time to go back and secure it. And if they do go for an aggro A and it gets dropped in a position where they can spot it, it's not ideal, but in that situation, it bites them. I mean, it's a hard map. I mean, where do you drop it? You drop it somewhere safe at B, closer to the site, or A, close to the site. It's also a far rotation side to side. Mid's very easily to get access to from G2. And oh, look at this. They're actually getting very aggressive at the front of the bathrooms that time.
It seems G2 have their confidence back on that flank.
And all they got from it was information, but sometimes that's enough. Unfortunately, by losing HP, they fall back. They're going to go for this bathroom boost one more time. Didn't work for them last time just because no one went that direction, but Flamey might get caught by it.
Oh, they still have, maybe when he comes up the connector, Dossier scouts it out. So they're all instantly going to drop him back up into A.
And that's one of those ones where why take that shot? Dozier probably wouldn't have seen him otherwise. So the fact that he gave away his position means he had to fall off it before he could secure a pick from it. Meanwhile, though, Maniz is out toward long. It's an exchange going back and forth. They both lost a lot of HP. 4 left for Maniz, so an aid for him inside the site. He's going to have to be very careful. That could be enough to take him down. But it looks like they're actually regrouping over toward B because they forced the rotations.
Yeah, look how many are over on A. You do still have one coming up through jungle, and that's going to be Maniz. They got enough support. Innocent's also making the rotation over to B. I think they heard the move. And Adren's ready to push up through construction. At the same time, there is a little bit of noise being made over on B by Angel, but it's not enough. In comes Dossier, turns his back to the flash. You do have Innocent battling from inside the pit. He'll scan out the bomb as he brought down the carrier, but he has to switch over towards his pistol, trying to find one. He does actually get an extra, but can't finish off all 3 that was in front of him. But with the support that's now arrived from Mouse, they do have the bomb, but they can't get it back onto the side. Kucha gets dropped as well as Angel, and all Dossier can do is just go for another run. Time is the biggest enemy of HellRaisers on this map.
And even worse, he died after the time expired, so Dossier gets no money. Everyone else, 49, 47. Angel, okay, not as much for him, but 26 for Dozier. He got that 1 kill, but
for a man with 15 kills, and he's got the least amount of cash.
Yeah.
It's just, the world is not fair.
They're still in an okay position, though.
I'm just surprised HellRaisers aren't being more aggressive over towards the B side. Like, yeah, they've been shut down in construction a lot, but G2's playing a very aggro move over on A, always committing 2. Is it not worth it to try and push up through, either through construction or through the side pipe?
Construction, yes. Side pipe, not so much. It's far too linear, and it doesn't take much. I mean, if you can get out there, sure, if you smoke it off and push through, but there's a far greater chance there's going to be a T lurking in that spot than inside construction. So usually you're going to divide and conquer from that position, but yeah, there it is. P90 as he waits on the stairs, easy kill.
He could have gone for the 2, but decides to just keep the numbers advantage his way. And he's going to come back down again for the second peak. He has the audacity to do it. Again, shut down for his arrogance. As Kucha as well as Dossier. They're able to get the 2 picks, which means the CT's down to 3. Famus and 2 M4s. 1 right in front. They saw him in the pit just bouncing up, which is why Flamey's able to pick him off pretty quickly. They'll look up towards the shot, but then, over a Toxic. 1, 2, looking for the 3rd. Innocent doesn't flash. There's only Dossier left. He's got a Tech 9 in hand. And he has to defend. The Flames will keep him out. He's over construction. They can see him. They start the flash. They start the spam. Innocent can keep him back with just a little bit more Famus spam as they go for the defuse. He had to come out. There was no choice. It was even a fake. The round will go the way of G2, taking up to 8-4. As Innocent shows patience on the level of Zhou.
This time they should be able to force out T-side quite easily. It's 4 rounds in a row now. We've seen streaks of 2 and 4, respectively, back-to-back, but 4 rounds does give you not full money bonus, but good enough to force out in this situation. They won't have much nades to work with, mostly flashbangs, 2 smokes. So we'll see how they execute with those, and that means they won't have a lot of room to fake. In fact, one's already gone out, although that was CT thrown. And look at this, Rollin this time is going to be the one inside construction as he tries to lurk. Mao's getting aggressive at A, so they want all the information possible, and Mao's is going to find the first one easily on Kutcher. He's got to be careful, he's still looking, and they are exactly behind him. Flamey's going to get the kill. Now that opens up A if they can continue to push onto it, but they've got to be careful because Rollins come through from the backside of construction, so he could have had a flank. He'll fall off it smartly so. He's got the 1 kill required. We'll see if he sits. He actually fakes the fall for the death cam, so he's going to come back up the stairway. Dozier is going back for the bomb, and if Rollin can hear him or spot him, this will completely cut apart HellRaisers. Innocent's already doing it at A.
He's had a great couple of rounds now, but Angel still wants to make some trouble for him over on that A side. He needs more help, and he also needs more life points and not going up against an AWP. So they back up. They'll come back down through. Actually, they're going over towards the B side. Dossier's going very, very far on the side. Smoke's giving him cover, but Spiro is here, and he doesn't look the right way. It does give a little bit of extra information, but doesn't really help at all, because Spiro still takes out the last remaining 2 Ts, and they hold the defensive line. I'm still worried about HellRaisers. They keep getting flanked so hard on this map. It's because of the early push-outs. Like this, it's the pre-flash coming out from G2. They can move themselves into construction pretty safely. And the second they realized, and they heard HellRaisers, because HellRaisers very loudly ran up through the tunnels and then came up through the connector. So they knew exactly where they were going.
I mean, to give you an idea, it's 21 seconds to the bathroom connector for a T-sided player. It's 11 seconds for a CT. So it's much quicker to get that aggro presence established. You can't even counterpick it. You can't even wait for him to come around.
Oh, nice Dossier.
Yeah, these Tech 9s, though, looking good. But
Seems
finally,
better when they buy Tech
answers.
9s. don't buy the other real weapons. Just buy a Tech 9. You'll be fine, HellRaisers.
It's like envious with the CZ. Team
no.
kill. Actually, self-kill, pardon me. That fire is going to take himself down. It's okay. He didn't want to play with his friends anyway. He's a bit sadistic.
I'm feeling so lucky. I don't know what really happened there. Maybe our second observer did scout that one out. And now it is a 2-on-2 situation. Kucha, you had a great map 1 with that AWP. And now if HellRaisers want to try and get themselves with some good rounds on T to end the last couple of rounds, it needs to get this first pick and allow them to breach into B. But they're being very, very careful coming in through the pipe now. There's only Mouse. Like, you've got Mouse on the site, or just back closer towards jungle. And the last player from G2 is on the complete other side of the map. He's very, very deep over on A. So he's waiting for the plant before the rotation comes. Now they'll scout him out, and the first kill goes away with Mouse. So that's Flamey going down.
The bomb does get planted,
Oh, he wasn't expecting him there.
Oh, he's got to be careful from window. This could actually work for Kutcher because...
Oh, he's looking behind him.
Well, the thing is, it's a timing matter. He'll hear them coming eventually. They're going to have to force his hand. He does have the AWP. Unfortunately, no one sticks to window, so he's going to have to hit these shots up close. They've already combined. He can't find it. Mouse gets the kill, and they'll get the defuse. Gamers going to get their 10th. HellRaisers with 4. It's still very, very, very manageable, but 5 would have been ideal for them, especially where they did not pick this map. This is Gamers2's map. They've got a lot more experience on it. Forced to play at any SEA.
Well, it's an all-buy. What else is left right now? So we've got AKs, we've got AWPs. We've got multiple AWPs as well over for G2. Sorry, I take that back. They've only got the one AWP with the 4 M4s. I think he actually just bought an extra one. Either way, the Molly. Gonna stop any kind of aggressive push coming out from HellRaisers towards the B side. But this time, HellRaisers, they are taking the bomb down long. But there is an AWP waiting for them. So we'll see if Maniz can actually get the pick again. And there it is. So he brought down Angel on the long A. While Spiro is not letting Dossier come onto this B bomb site. So they watch from one side of the pipe to the other. Well, we've still got that little boost over the mid. So how the hell can you get control of construction?
Well, I mean, that's a predicted spot. You can actually spam through the plywood very easily. The problem is you're going to have to take some damage in the meantime. And Rollins still standing there, even though the boost is gone. It's not a great place to stand. I mean, that boost has gone both ways. I've seen that work very well. Yes, you get that presence before they come around the corner from the initial connecting pipe, but it can easily be countered with spam.
HellRaisers showing patience again, but they're running out of time. 40 seconds only left on the clock. And they still haven't even managed to secure toilets. You got a very aggressive Mouse position. He's right in front of the toilet area, looking to actually collect your money. And Flamey, flashes, smokes. Everything they kind of got, they're throwing over towards that A site, but they can't get in. 22 seconds on the clock. They have to make a push, and they're going to switch it over. So it was all a decoy. They're coming up through construction, but Spiro sitting perfectly. Gus back HellRaisers. You're going to find a third as well. Third, looking for a fourth, not going to get it. Maniz will wrap it up. And it's 11-4 at the end of the CT half in favor of Gamers2.
Yeah, very respectable scoreline. Like I said, this map when it first came out was sort of 12-3. I've seen it played in certain circumstances where I think, not at the top division so much, more in the mid-tier divisions where it's gone a lot more even. But along the lines of, you know, as the meta, any map that comes out new is going to be CT-sided. It's much simpler to adapt to playing defense when you don't have a team that knows any executions. As this map becomes more and more played, you're going to see 11-4 should be a base scoreline. I think 10-5, 9-6 is very possible. It's still manageable for HellRaisers. We'll see what they can do. But if this goes to Mirage, I mean, they're still in Mirage, great position, especially against a team like G2 who aren't comfortable on Mirage at all.
Yeah. So we'll see what HellRaisers can do. Pistol round time. We get ourselves in and see who gets the early momentum in map number 2, half number 2 of our first game of the day.
And this pistol's very important for G2.
Oh, look at the mollies.
Fairly aggressive they go into B. That Molotov will catch out the player that was back at Toxic. That's Dozia, but now Adren is on the catwalk, coming out from jungle, gets the first shot. The bomb's already down, though, and the rotators haven't arrived. Spiro's actually going to get Kutcher with a nade, so he won't even get to join in the retaking party, and they've smoked off that window as well. Finally, Innocent finds out Angel, and this is looking very good. G2 do get the pistol, and pardon me, I meant that it was HellRaisers that needed it. I called that wrong, but G2 get it. This should give them enough energy and enough momentum to at least burst up to pretty much 14 rounds, and then HellRaisers is going to have to play lights out like they did on Dust 2.
To be honest, that's what I was expecting to see from HellRaisers all through the last half. Just come in and just so aggressively attack into that B side. They put the perfect molly down on Toxic, so the defender was trying to hold back with the pistol, couldn't do anything. It might have also been because G2 are running a more aggressive position there. Either way, now it's up to G2 to make sure they do not lose this advantage. You do have one scout up here for Adren, and that might just open it up, but as Maniz waits for the HellRaisers players to come up through mid very aggressively, they just get dropped.
Dropped and stopped. No momentum to come the other way. So far, no guns dropped either, so even better for G2's.
Yeah, they don't want anything to do with that A side at all. They're loving the B. So aggressive from Rowland too, looking to actually pick up that scout, and he's going to just walk his way through it and get it. Too easy with that Tech 9. And Flamey's the last one left. CZ auto, and he's sitting himself down in the bottom of mid, just behind Squeaky. He might at least get one pick here.
Yeah, it's all he can really hope for. If he could get an exit kill and knock a gun down, even if he could secure it for himself, it would be even better. But obviously, we saw that didn't happen. So 13 now, getting much closer. We're going to see potentially, I won't call this one too soon because, again, it is CT-sided, and if HellRaisers can get going, it's very possible that they could mount a comeback, but we might see two very different score lines from what we saw in last night's action.
Yeah, this is well, that was a comeback of epic proportions. Tonight, it really feels like the momentum just cannot be squashed.
And Nolan's gone for a scout. Interesting. I thought they might try and save him out and get to the AWP, but...
Well, I think that's a stolen one from last round.
Oh, you're right. My mistake, because he didn't buy. Yep, good call.
Hence the extra cash. And with that too, he's got all the vision. Sees two come out through Squeaky, so the CT's coming up through Toxic. Looks for the first pick, down to 10 live points. Switches over towards the Tech 9, and he also asks for some support. Spiro comes over, but the CT's trying to come in, but Spiro, with the AK, claims up the two rotators. And HellRaisers, all they have left is two players up against the three. Of course, not much damage taken by any of the G2 players, but Innocent, up he comes. And again, that B plant, very exposed B plant side too.
Mouse is going to catch down Angel before he even got to the corner where Spiro was waiting, and unfortunately that was the gun that they had. It's worth it to go for it at this point because obviously the score is so far out of reach, but it would have been nice if Flamey was a little closer to at least secure it because now it's out of reach. Flamey's still going to try and get in there, though. He still wants to do something. Actually, they're rotating out of the site. Flamey's got no kit. But man, oh man, this would have been almost a perfect opportunity to try and go for a ninja.
Do it.
I don't think he realizes it. He's out of time at this point. No kit, he can't do it. And now he's actually just going to try and secure one kill. Can't do it. Innocent's going to take him down. Man, if he had a kit right there, that was ninja proportions right there, or at least possibility.
It was good for Innocent to come back and check it. But the chance of him actually purchasing a kit at that point would be like next to nothing.
Oh, of course. I mean, I'm a fan of having a kit in every round regardless. Like right now, Adren's already picked up one for them. But when they're trying to full save and get back into this game, it's a lot harder to do.
Dosia, he's already been asked to do so much for his team. He's the highest fragger over on his lineup, and he has to do so much as the flashes. He's actually able to flash up. Most of G2 are pushing. There's 4 players coming up on the B side. He's been forced all the way back up into Toxic. While A has absolutely no one left on it, they're still trying to come up. Mouse is at least able to bring down Dossier now, but the nade, perfect position, right into the eyes of the push-up from G2. So they take a little bit of chip damage, actually not as much as I thought they were going to. And the CTs, they're actually moving him through the smoke, quite blind, but it allows Angel to get close up on the side. He looks for the bomb planter, can't get him off. In fact, it's Innocent again, who's able to get one, looking for the second, able to claim it. Pickoffs, and then a nade to block him out. The CTs do have the site back again, as G2 defends a little bit deeper, back towards the construction, but the smoke's going to blind him up. The molly wasn't in the right position. Adren.
He's the one with the kit, though. He's got to go for the defuse. And Maniz is already spamming it. He's going to try and get on it. Luckily, Flamey finds the kill. So they will get this. That one kit, more than enough. They'll get the defuse. And now we see what G2 can really bring to the party at this point.
They still have a crap ton of money, so they're not going to be limited on weapons, but HellRaisers, they can do a semi-buy right now, but it's not going to be amazing for them just yet. So
we'll see how HellRaisers choose to play this. We saw they went double op on Dust. Not necessarily as common on a map like Overpass. Obviously, you can throw it out toward long A. You might put one in B occasionally, but it's not ideal. Actually, an auto sniper would be something I would expect to see more than at least more viable, in my opinion, than a double op setup.
I like this from Dossier. He's actually taking up the position of the G2 were playing, so up close towards the pipe, using construction as well. They don't take construction though, because G2 just keeps taking construction every single time.
And that lets him pick his battle too by playing up close, because playing far back, it's only 2 or 3 steps before he can be seen from either spot. By getting up close, he gets to pick exactly which way he wants to contest, and his teammates can easily support as they try and rush in on him. So, especially if he takes the outer side.
Look at all that
these
fire
fires
coming in.
Yeah, that's going to force them out into the water. And right now they're getting flashed out as well. So Adren's outside the back of the site. Rollin's going to be your first one in, and it's very low HP for Dossier, who gets pushed back over below the window. So this plant's going to come in without any shots even fired or rattled off back in their direction.
Look where Adren is. He's using the smoke to move up through the side. He couldn't get many pickups. In fact, only taking out 1. So it's 3 Ds versus 4 aggressives. Kucha, now he comes up, holding on top of Toxic. Flashes, smokes, mollies, whatever you've got, throw him out. Kucha able to pick up the second, so he does bring it to a 2v2. Spiro in construction. This is a must-win fight right now for Angel, and he could not win it. So Flamey, he has an impossible task, and the impossible task is not achieved, because it's impossible.
So now we see match point, and no money to work with for HellRaisers. It's going to have to be brilliant. They'll have to play it up close. How they do so, I mean, they've been losing B. I'd go for the stack at this point. I'd get right over there and try and do that. A is very cluttered. We talked about it. They're actually going to try and run it up through mid and get into the stairwell. So that sort of covers off your B. It's not quite as direct. In fact, Angel's going to go further. He's heading out toward the park, and that's where they're going to be, so they'll easily pick up the first.
That's one of the very few times, too, that G2 are committing to going up through to the A side. Probably realizing, too, that there'll be a stack over on B, so they just move it up perfectly. They hold the party area. While HellRaisers kind of caught in a bit of a crevice. Manita's trying to push up over on Kucha. Was unable to get the kill, but look at him. They're just going to go through very long A. And Flamey has to move all the way back over towards the A side. He's the only person there, while Dossier is stuck in connector. I don't know if he can hear. Could he hear G2 running along from there? It's possible.
It is possible. I'd have to think about that. I'd have to actually try that. I'm not sure, because where he's down inside that stairwell, suppressing noise, I'm not sure, but they are up. G2's up inside the site now, so.
Yeah, but you got Flamey right on top of the A site. You got Adren sitting over on the side. So there are ways. Then again, Flamey's now going to go down. Adren's basically caught in a bit of a fight. Dossier, again, still staying inside a connector. It's got Maniz just around on the side, and it's down to 2 players for the CT to try and pull absolute miracle out of their places.
Yeah, Kutcher's already taking shots right now on the back E-box, and he's surely going to drop. He does try and get up, though. He's not answered just yet. Mouse gets him, and now it's all down to Dossier, and that's going to do it. Gamers2 respond to the one-sided scoreline that they faced against on Dust 2. 16-5 here on Overpass, and that means we head to Mirage for map 3. Winner of this, flip side awaiting in the finals of this bracket.
No, they will. Now it'll happen directly after this game. For me, I think that second map was pretty much one thing. It was G2, they controlled everything.
Right.
I think construction was almost probably their critical point, that they just kept holding every single time on CT. That early flash, the boost up as well to see over the top. They couldn't get through squeaky HellRaisers, and then they just felt like they were cut off. It's like you basically got one leg, but there's no balls.
And that's the debate on this map is the aggro defense and how it works. Usually you see it at A. You're right, it worked off at construction for them this time. Keep in mind that was their map choice. They have a lot more experience on it.
Mm-hmm.
We head to Mirage.
We do.
I think HellRaisers still has the advantage, but this is a feather in the cap for G2. A little bit of confidence. See if they can build on it and see if they can. Again, we watch them very adaptive game style. They play who has the op based on the spawn point toward window.
Yep.
And they don't always play the 2-1-2. They sometimes go for the 1B, 1 mid in the window, and 3 at A, depending on how they're getting played against. We'll see if that defense can be to be read to good effect from HellRaisers. But we're going to take a short break.
Yep.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Adds to the prize pool for the entire league, which will conclude at DreamHack Bucharest. And, oh, right, of course, before we do that, there's our statistics.
Yeah.
Mouse leads the way.
We have him this time around.
Yeah, so he was the player that was absolutely...
No surprise. No surprise. He was always on top of them every time there was a push coming. Mouse was there with M4. He was good.
Yeah, so 32% headshot. That's not too bad. Actually quite effective. And, of course, he was using the rifle the whole time. But like I say, We'll take a short break. We'll rejoin you on Mirage for the deciding map, and then we go forward against Flipside.
But he's got nowhere else to go.
Done good damage now to Innocent. He's going to have to be so careful. Again, it's Rollin. Oh, they line up. He gets, wow, actually a team kill in response. If he hadn't got it, it was going the other way regardless. So 2K down. But there's Dozier still alive as Flamey found one as well. So back down to a 2-on-2. Rollin still wreaking havoc and the bomb's down. This is going to force the round. Flamey can't do anything about it.
Turns it back to the flash. You do have Innocent battling from inside the pit. He'll scan out the bomb as he brought down the carrier. But he has to switch over towards his pistol, trying to find one. He does actually get an extra, but can't finish off all three that was in front of him. But with the support that's now arrived from Mouse, they do have the bomb, but they can't get it back onto the side. Kucha gets dropped as well as Angel, and all Dossier can do is just go for another run towards the shot. But then, over a Toxic. 1-2, looking for the third. Innocent doesn't flash. There's only Dossier left. He's got a Tech 9 in hand. They're coming up through construction, but Spiro sitting perfectly. Gus back HellRaisers. He's going to find a third as well. Third, looking for a fourth, not going to get it. Maniz will wrap it up. And it's 11-4 at the end of the CT half. And that might just open it up, but as Maniz waits for the HellRaisers